Hi, today I've created a lesson plan called Integrating Internet Safety into the Curriculum. The South Carolina State standards for this lesson plan are that the student will practice responsible use of technology, systems, information, and software, and beyond that, will know the school's rules for using computers, understand the importance of protecting personal information or passwords, and understanding the basic principles of the ownership of ideas. Today's lesson and the objective for today is to understand the importance of protecting your personal information or passwords. Now, due to a class size of 36, I think what we'd like to do first is I'd like to divide you into some groups. So what I'd like to do is get up and move the desk around. It's not a problem here. Since there's 36 of you, I'm going to divide you into groups of about 8 or 9 students, somewhere around 8. I think we'll be okay with that. And then if there's a couple over, you can join the group as well. I'm going to allow you to decide how you want to divide up. But I'd like to take those chairs and somehow make an inner circle facing outwards. So let's take 4 of the chairs at least and sort of put them back to back, maybe sort of like in a little plus sign. And then I'd like to take the other desk and just move them outside the circle so that those people who are on the outside can rotate around. So let's have at least 4 people sit in those seats facing outward, and then the other students, the other individuals in the room can sort of get in front of one of those students seated at a desk. And here's what we're going to do. The first thing I'm going to ask you to do is take a piece of paper and write down 2 things that you think you know about keeping your information and your passwords and those sorts of things. How do you keep yourself safe on the internet? So take a few minutes and write down a couple of those things. The next step I'm going to ask you to do is those people on the inside to communicate what you wrote to the people that are facing you, to the individual facing you. Just talk a little bit about it, read them what you wrote, and then I'm going to ask them to respond to what you wrote and see if you can, if they understand what it is you put down on paper. Okay? As soon as that's done, then I'm going to ask those people to rotate. Let's move in a clockwise direction, and I'm going to ask them to rotate. The person on the outside, I'm going to ask you to rotate to the next person seated on the inside of the circle. Just rotate in front of them so you have someone different. And therefore, and again, if there's an extra student or 2, you can work beside somebody. That'll be perfectly fine. Now, once you've rotated, I would like for you to discuss the 2 things that were given to you by the previous person with the person seated, and then also get what they wrote down with that person. So sort of this is where we're sharing the information as we go around the circle. So again, once you've discussed that, let's take a couple minutes. Then I'm going to ask you to rotate again around to the next person in the circle and share until we actually get all the way around. And I would like to take some time and give you an opportunity to share that information. And again, there may be some overlap. There may be some students who have written down some of the same things, and that's perfectly fine. But I want to give an opportunity for each student to share what each of you have written, so that we all sort of understand and singing from the same page. So go ahead and make sure that you rotate. Take a couple minutes. When you get that done, I'm going to be watching, and when everybody's finished, then we'll pause and we'll look at something else. All right. Thank you.